Hello everyone, today's video is on graphing equations in slope-intercept form. So we know what slope-intercept form is, and we also know a couple different ways that we can graph equations. We've used the table method, where we create a table of values and plot them on a coordinate plane and then connect the dots. We've also used the standard form of an equation to graph a line as well, using the x and y intercepts. So we are going to add a new way to graph equations that are in slope-intercept form. So let's just take a little review here. Slope-intercept form looks like this. Slope-intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b. And we know that m in this equation is our slope. M is our slope, the steepness of the graph, and we know that b is our y-intercept. So that's the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. Also the point where the x-coordinate is 0. So now that we've reviewed that, let's take a look at how we can use the information that slope-intercept form gives us to graph an equation. So let's look at the equation y equals 3x minus 2. Okay, so first let's identify the slope and the y-intercept. Our slope here is 3, and our y-intercept is -2. So we can plot that. We can plot our y-intercept on the graph to get our first point. So let's do that. We know that the graph crosses the y-axis at -2, so we'll use a different color here. Let's use green. So we know that the graph crosses the y-axis at the point -2. So I'm going to put a little point right there. Okay, so we need at least 2 points to graph a line. So how can we find that second point? Well, we can use the slope to do that. So we remember that slope equals rise over run, right? Rise over run, our change in our y-coordinates over our change in our x-coordinates. So we can use that information to find where this second point should be. So if I know that my slope is 3, we could also say that is 3 over 1. Well, that means that between any 2 points, the ratio of the change in the y to the change in x will always simplify to 3. So we can also think of this as we can take any point, find another point by going up 3 and to the right 1. So I'm going to start from the point that I know, this 0, -2, our y-intercept, and I'm just going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. And that puts me right here at the point 1, 1. And then from there, we can simply just connect our dots to create our graph. And that's really all there is to graphing equations in slope-intercept form. So another way we can think about slope is that it is the rate of change of this graph. This should be f, rate of change. Also, we could think of it as a unit rate. We've done unit rates in the past. So we can also think of this being for every one unit that we move to the right, we will move 3 units up. It's a +3, so we're going to increase by 3. So we can think of it that way as well. So if we wanted to find the next point, we would go for every 1 unit to the right, we can move 3 units up to find another point on the graph. And so we can find as many points as we want, but we really only need 2 to graph an equation. All right, so let's take a look at another example, just to get a little bit more practice here. Erase this. Okay, let's look at the equation y equals -2x plus 4. negative 2x plus 4. So first we can just identify our slope and our y-intercept. The slope here is negative 2. Slope is negative 2, and the y-intercept is positive 4. Okay, so I'm going to start with my y-intercept, positive 4, and I'm going to plot a point there. Right, the point 0, 4. And now I'm going to take this slope, and I'm going to say that, well, again, my slope is rise over run. Slope equals rise over run. And we can put anything over 1 and it remains the same, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the slope, negative 2, and put that over 1. So I know that my rise is negative 2, so I can go down 2, and then my run is positive 1, so I can go to the right 1 to find our next point. So we go down 2, 1, 2, and to the right 1. And that gets me my next point, and that is all I need. That is all I need to graph this equation. Looks a little something like that. All right, well, I hope this helps. I hope this helps you understand how to graph a line using slope-intercept form. Thanks for watching. See you next time.